I've had a number of reptilian and human military MyLab experiences over the past like 15, 20 years. The main focus of them was this project to train reptilians and how to do crowd control. They'd bring us to malls after dark, sometimes stadiums, giving them the basics of how they would do crowd control. But one of the things that happened a few years ago was they accidentally cured my color blindness after the age of 40 with this eye procedure where they were testing out transplanting either reptilian DNA or stem cells into people's eyes who were in this MyLab project so we could have better night vision. But in doing that, they accidentally cured my color blindness. If you're in the MyLab programs long enough, they're going to do some kind of procedure on you. I am aware of this program to create reptilian gray human Tribrids, which do look a lot like that enemy in Stranger Things, who's called Thekla, I believe. They call them pale crawlers sometimes, but they're not always pale. Or they call them, rakes. The rate of sightings of those beings has just been exploding, 10 years. Cryptid like, Dogman or Sasquatch. Their population has probably been steady for like 10,000 years or 20,000, how many thousand years they've been around, In one of my MyLabs, they showed me one of these beings, and it did look a lot like the thing from Stranger Things, and it was very intelligent. And the thing I remembered so vividly was it mocking me for not reading the Atlantic magazine, which at the time was really strange, but in like the last year or two, everyone's talking about how the Atlantic magazine is this big CIA mouthpiece, and it tells you all the wars they want to do and all their plans they have. But back then, no one was talking about that. And I'm like, why is this thing mocking me for not reading the Atlantic magazine? Like, what the hell? Yeah, if that the category that the military calls these things, they call them seekers. These types of beings, one of the things they do is they go out and they, if they need to seek and grab someone, that's what they send. They're very good at stealth. I mean, they're always breaking into people's houses and sneaking around people's exteriors. A lot of them can imitate voices perfectly. And the reason they can do that, this was explained to me in another MyLab when I was being interrogated. And it was a horrible MyLab because they used very primitive technology on me. They used scopolamine. And later on, after this interrogation, the reason they can imitate human voices so well is because they have a combination of gray, reptilian, and human neurology. The military wants a being that can fight and they can sort of anticipate how their enemy would think, which they're pretty aggressive. They're going to be like the next race.